Welcome to the Ravenswood City School District regular board meeting of May 9th, 2024. This board meeting is called to order at 6:34 p.m. We are going to go ahead and move on to roll call. So again, Trustee Nunez is running late. Trustee Shibomihin here. Trustee Tavera
Present.
and I myself, Jenny Bloom, am present. And President Latu is out of town for a work commitment. So we will continue on to item number 2, which is the approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second? A second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. We will move on to item number 3, which is closed session. If we have members of the public who would like to address anything that's agendized for closed session, now is the time to do so. As I see none, I will adjourn to closed session at 6:35 p.m.
Presentación del diseño preliminar del
Welcome back to the Ravenswood City School District Board meeting. I will resume open session at 7:22 p.m. For the record, I just want to note that trustee Nunez joined us at 6:36 p.m. during closed session. I will keep moving on through the agenda. Report taken of action taken in closed session. For item number 3A, there was discussion, no action was taken. We'll move on to item number 6 from the floor. Now is the time if anyone from the public would like to address anything that is not agendized, this is your time to do so. As I see no comments, I will move on to item number 7, which is the consent agenda. Do we have any questions or comments regarding the consent agenda? As I see none, I will entertain a motion to approve item 7, the consent agenda.
Through the chair, I make a motion to approve consent agenda item number 7.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 4-0. We'll move on to item number 8, which is board reports and communication. I will start with item 8A, the superintendent evaluation report. This board did conduct a evaluation of our superintendent, and we did want to convey, along with our chair, who is not here today, President Latu, and the board wants to convey that to the public that we did do this evaluation, and Superintendent Sudaria continues to be the right fit for Ravenswood. She received great scores on all of the sections, and we continue to look forward to working with her for the next many years. So thank you for your leadership and your service. And that's that. And this will be the time if there are any comments regarding this item. I see none. I will continue for reports and communications.
Through the chair, just want to share that last Saturday, Ravenswood Education Foundation had the Rock and Roar community event. And I was so overwhelmed by the turnout because it was like raining really hard. And last week it was like sunny all week, really hot. And then it started to rain that day and it was like pouring. It was like, so the turnout was amazing. The students were the highlight, the presentations of the students. So many different participants, families that just showed up to support, volunteers, staff, the Ravenswood Education Foundation. Everything was just so beautiful. So just so excited to be a part of that. To see so many families, faces, community members, it's amazing.
Any other? Our facility subcommittee met on Tuesday. A lot of what we talked about will be presented here during this meeting. Trustee Shabomaheen and I attended that session, so it was great. Thank you, Dr. Eager, for leading it. And I do know there was also a Cinco de Mayo event on Sunday that the East Palo Alto City and many community organizations hosted, and I was able to attend that. And I know that there were a lot of attendees there, and so much of our community was there celebrating them. A wonderful time. So thank you for our city council members and city who put that on and posted for our community. I will also say there is a Bellhaven community hub, Bellhaven Community Center event, grand opening event that is happening on May 18th, which is coming up next Saturday. So not this Saturday, but the Saturday after that, where they will be celebrating the grand opening of their brand new community center that is beautiful, that is going to be hosting many different activities for all of the Bellhaven community and the residents there. I know there are many classes that young children can attend during the summer and after school. So for all of the parents who are also looking for summer programs beyond what Ravenswood is also offering in the Boys and Girls Club during summer intercession, there are going to be lots of programs there at the Bellhaven Community Center. So I really hope our Bellhaven residents make note of that and look into that, because that is something that was built for them and they are being prioritized. So I really want to make sure that our community members and our children in that area also know that these things are also available to them. And finally, sorry, I always have a lot of words. There are many mothers here on this dais, and so, and in the audience, so I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and that's coming up on Sunday, and all of the dads that are sitting here that forgot, this is your opportunity to remember to remind your kids to get something for their moms. And also just all of the ways that so many people mother our children, and care for them. So I just want to say thank you to all the moms and all the mothers and all the people who do mothering for our children, because we all know we can't do it alone. And we are so thankful for all of that support. So I hope all of you are celebrated, whatever that looks like, on Sunday. So thank you. And that ends my board report. Is there any? Oh, all right, I will move on to item number 9, which is the superintendent's report.
Wonderful. Well, this week is Staff Appreciation Week, or technically it's Teacher Appreciation Week, with Wednesday being the Day of the Teacher in the state of California. And then also, I believe it's the week of May 19th for our classified school employees to be recognized. But this week specifically, we took the time to be able to recognize all of our team members. I was doing a listening campaign, and I was at one of the schools, and at their site, they're proud about the fact that everyone is seen as a leader, and is seen as having a very important role in impacting children. And I want to emphasize that in the month of May, we want to do our due diligence to recognize every single team member from the school sites through a home office about how invaluable they are in serving our kids. And I also want to thank our foundation. They've done such a great job of making all of us, including me as a superintendent, all management team members, classified in RTA, to feel appreciated. We know we can't use our state and federal dollars for food and little trinkets here and there. And so we really appreciate the foundation setting aside funds to just show their appreciation for us with, I think Trustee Nunez, you have your cup there, as well as providing lunch and coffee carts this month for our team members. Just to add on to what Trustee Tavera also shared, the foundation did a remarkable job bringing community together and shifting. And I heard when I was speaking with them, the board, doing a major pivot that was led by our executive director, Jenna Pronovos. She had a vision to make this an inclusive event versus individuals who want to support Ravenswood from afar. She really did a great job, and the ref board spouses and partners to bring it in full force. And we were in community. We truly were in community, and staff members from CCRMS held it down, supporting different areas, as well as our student performers. Instead of being put on display, they were showcasing their talent and skills. And I think it's also great that people who haven't really felt Ravenswood got to see the true Ravenswood and the progress that we've made. And there was pure joy during that day. And I hope this happens again next year. I know it took a lot of work, but bringing community together, I think, is worth it. And I can't thank the Ravenswood Education Foundation and Jenna for what they were able to do. They also, well, moving into like connecting this in terms of community, our Ravenswood promise that definitely resonates in regards to being able to share the level of input and feedback and involvement that we want from our community. And so the event definitely elevated our Ravenswood promise. I mentioned briefly that I am doing a listening campaign. I'm making the attempt to visit every unit member on our Teachers Association and our Classified School Employee Association during the month of May, and I will help hit management towards the end of May and June, so that I can really get a sense of how culture and leadership is impacting their work, as well as our communication and the initiatives that we laid out, including Ravenswood Promise, and how we can do the rollout of initiatives more effectively. And especially around the Ravenswood Promise, learning about the extent to their, learning about their experience with it so that the gaps that I am learning from them, we can figure out how to make sure everyone understands that our Ravenswood Promise learner profile is our North Star. It's our vision. It's not the action plan. We're going to be in process of developing our community action plan, but it definitely is what we want to be true for kids, and everyone needs to know it. Everyone needs to own it, and it's a way for adults to reflect on how they are impacting students to be able to achieve the learner profile. I also want to share with the board that this is testing week. It's our first week of testing. Our 3rd through 8th graders are coming to school every day. I hear that they're doing pretty well and it's well organized. Austin, our data assessment coordinator, has been supporting all of our sites. And our site principals and vice principals have done a great job making sure it's organized, changing schedules to accommodate the testing. And then we have one more week next week, and then makeups. And then there's a bunch of events happening in the month of May, and hope that you can all have an opportunity to join the AANHPI, Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Island performances coming up as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? As I see none, we'll move on to item number 10, which is the presentation of the preliminary design for the Ravenswood Family Health Network Clinic at Bellhaven.
Good evening, trustees. Pleased to introduce our guests in a second, but I'm going to permit myself to talk just for a minute. We've been working with the Ravenswood Family Health Network over the past almost a year now on this particular project. And I want to just quickly remind the board and the public of how we ended up in this particular partnership and why the district is so excited to bring some district resources to support this project and also highlight how we are benefiting. During the Bellhaven design process and engagement process, we did an extensive engagement campaign to think about what to do with the northeast corner of the site. And we went out and spoke to well over 100 people, including many families at the school, and identified possible things that this corner could be, whether it's a health clinic, tennis courts, additional parking to support the field and the school. Overwhelmingly, well over, we gave people sort of a choice to vote on things, and well over half of the responses were for a health clinic. So there was a tremendous amount of support in the Bellhaven community, no matter how you look at it, for a health clinic in this spot. The question then became from the district side, well, which health clinic should it be, right? We didn't go into this saying, this is the right answer. We went into it saying, what does the community want? What the community overwhelmingly told us is that we want a health clinic in that spot. In the process, there's a lot of engagement from me to others and just talking to folks in the community. And I think people recognize health clinics do have things. They come with more parking, things like that, but they still said health clinic. So the question then became, well, which health clinic should we partner with? We put out a public request for proposals and engaged with a number of providers to try and figure out, what is the most logical partner for the district in this project. And I'm pleased to say, pretty clearly it became obvious to us, and I think other district staff, and I think the board as well, that the Ravenswood Family Health Network was the right organization to partner with on this project. As part of this project, the district is contributing sort of no rent land, which is a big deal for us. I think we don't do that very often. We don't do that for many organizations that we charge market rate rent. I know some trustees would like us to always charge rent. And I think to waive that in this instance is a sign of the district's pretty significant financial investment in this project. Land is not free in this area. So the district in many ways is contributing, a substantial amount of money over the course of this project. To be clear, the district and the students are also benefiting significantly from this project, right? And so one of the things that we did in this lease is we do charge some rent. We do then give a rent credit for services provided. So the net effect of that is no rent, but it does highlight the significant financial benefit that our students who will be healthier, more prepared for school, better screened, better teeth, as well as just sort of generally healthier will be as a result of this project. And of course, their families who will be able to access this project will also be healthier, allowing students to remain in school longer, get to school, have supports at school, have healthier lifestyles. So there's a tremendous benefit to our students, the community as part of this project. And I'm excited tonight to kind of reveal the sort of next iteration of the design. There's been tremendous back and forth between the district and the health network on this particular project. And I'm pleased without further ado to introduce the team from the health clinic to present the preliminary design to the board tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Graylin Jacques. I am the new CEO of Ravenswood Family Health Network. I've been there for 13 years. I'm really excited to partner with the school district on this project. Louisa, who is the former CEO, is now our Director of Capital Projects, and she's leading this effort. So she'll be doing the presentation. Just want to make an introduction and say hello. Thank you.
Good evening, board members and superintendent of the Ravenswood City School District. So I also want to introduce our architect, Scott Peterson, who is local here in San Carlos. And he has been working with us since 2003. So very familiar with, he designed the clinic in East Palo Alto, if you're familiar with that one. And a very experienced community health center architect. So, how do I move the slides? Oh, this, okay. Okay. All right. So, just to give you a very quick background, Ravenswood Family Health Center initially was founded in 2000, and we opened for services in December of 2001. We are a federally qualified health center. We are also a private nonprofit public benefit corporation. Our board members are volunteers. They are mostly consumers of the clinic. The majority, 51%, use our services, and it's an expectation. It's a federally qualified health center. And while we are a grantee, the federal dollars only represent about 7% of our total budget. So it's not like we're rolling in federal cash. Just because with that name, sometimes people go, oh, well, you're federally funded. Yeah, like a little bit. And currently in all of our locations, because we took over the Mayview Community Health Centers in 2020, we have 364 employees and contractors, and our corporate offices are in East Palo Alto. One of the other things before I go into the services we're proposing is to be a federally qualified health center, you have to be associated with a medical service study area that has the majority of people that have lower incomes. And so East Palo Alto, the Bellhaven part of Menlo Park, and North Fair Oaks are part of a medical service study area in the state of California. And that is our defined service area. And so it's considered a medical underserved area, which is why we feel very committed also to the Bellhaven community. So the proposed services, we will have family medicine, so pediatrics, prenatal care, women's health, adult medicine, and geriatrics for the community, dental services, health education, behavioral health counseling, social services. We'll have lab services for the patients, and then enrollment in health plans. The intention is that it will be open to the entire community. We currently serve, in 2023, we serve 1,289 residents of Bellhaven in our East Palo Alto site. We are in network for Medi-Cal, Medicare, Medicare Advantage with Health Plan of San Mateo, Blue Shield covered California. Those people who may not have insurance up to 200% of federal poverty, that we have a sliding fee scale. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to expand it beyond 200% because of our federal compliance requirements. We are not able to accept HMO insurances because we can't be a network, because HMOs include, hospitalization, specialty services, all those things, which we have some specialty services, but mostly we're doing primary care. The only HMO insurance that we do accept is Delta Dental. And so if people have that, we were able to serve them. Basically, we won't get paid and with HMO insurances. Oops, what did I do? I turned it off. Okay. All right. That's okay. And so the services that we'll have that will focus specifically on elementary school children, that they can come in and receive with parent consent without their parents being present. Virtual dental home is one of them, which we already do for, I think, the preschool children. Do we do them also for kindergarten and first grade? Yeah. And it's more than just looking in the mouth and saying, oh, they have cavities. We actually have a dental hygienist that is cleaning, fluoride varnishes, sealants on molars, x-rays, and then oral photographs, temporary resins that prevent cavities from growing. So it's very important preventative services. If they need drilling, however, and that kind of care, we want their parents to be present. And we will be having those services available in the clinic when it's open. But we would arrange to do it when a parent or family member is available. We will do hearing, vision, and screening, and then we have an optometry clinic in our East Palo Alto site. So the children can go there to get their prescription for their glasses or wherever they would like to go. And then we would work with the school around asthma action plans and provide vaccination clinics. So those are the services that will specifically be focused on elementary school children. So the site plan, and I'll have Scott go over that.
Hello. All right. So I'll walk you through the site plan really quick. So the location is on the corner of Hamilton and Almanor. Let's see here. Sorry, orientation. All right. So we're showing that you're building a future recreation field with a track to it. The clinic will just be north of that and adjacent a new parking lot that's being constructed along Almanor. With this project, the parking lot will be expanded a little bit for on-site parking for patients and visiting. It's a shared parking lot. For access to the building, it was important to be obviously immediately adjacent, but also have the ability to have public come visit the clinic, the community visit the clinic without necessarily intermixing with the student population. So we have, I'll give it a go. We have main entrance on the left-hand side of the building with a gate access from Hamilton directly so community can visit the health center. Obviously parking with the entrance off of Almanor. For students, there's two ways to access the facility. Either alongside the left-hand side of the field to the main entrance and into the facility, escorted, or a secondary means, which would be escorted to the rear end of the facility, specifically to the backside of dental, if they've got a dental visit. The choice between the two would be based on program, number of students, what's the right fit for the student population. The facility still at the end of the night would still be secured in the same way that the school would be secured. And there's no ready access from this point directly to the field or anything of that nature. So adjacent, accessible, but still separate. Before I go off the site plan, are there any questions? The interior of the building, Louisa went through the program. Really, what's being provided is 6 exam rooms, one larger for treatment, several behavioral health community services spaces, 3 dental operatories, a group room, which also does prenatal centering. Enrollment, and support services for both the medical and dental side of things. Pretty well self-contained. So, Lisa, do you want me to? Okay. So we're still currently in the design phase. Lots of interaction to still happen with the school district to fine tune several things. One of the components of the design phase is we are picking between modular construction and stick-built construction. That's a sort of turn left or right decision for us. We're finding a little bit of challenge to find a modular vendor who meets all of our healthcare requirements. So we're still in the process of doing that. Over the next 3 months, we're going to do some community outreach, get some feedback. Aesthetics is important. How the building fits within the community. Make sure that we get both district feedback, but community feedback. And then proceed with entitlement permitting from DSA and fundraising. The project construction could be 6 to 9 months, but would not necessarily start until the site is freed up, which does not free up until fall of 2025. So that's our goals are working to that point to be ready to proceed with construction as soon as the site's available to move forward. Opening 2026. Knock on wood.
Thank you all so much for your presentation. Right now, I will open up for comments, questions and comments from the board. As I see none, I will just say thank you so much for your presentation. I, again, think that it's such an important part of being able to continue to meet the needs of our community in so many different ways, and especially our children. And I know that there used to be a Ravenswood Family Health Clinic there before in the Bellhaven area. And so I'm excited to be able to partner to bring it back. And I know that that is something that the community does desire, as said from the community outreach that Dr. Eager shared with us earlier, and also what you all shared. So I also wanted to say thank you to Lisa for hosting the community engagement time with our superintendent earlier last month, I think. And so I just want to say thank you for all of the work that you all have been doing and have continued to do for the residents of Bellhaven and East Palo Alto, and just all of the city school district community. And welcome to new faces, and we look forward to continuing to work and partner with you as well. So thank you so much, and we look forward to what is to come. All right, I'm going to move on to item number 11, which is the presentation of the Citizens Oversight Committee.
Thank you, trustees. I'm surprised and disappointed to present this to you tonight. I was hoping we would have one of our most distinguished members of the Citizens Oversight Committee, Sharifa Wilson, here tonight to present this. And not seeing her, I guess you're stuck with me. She's a really big downgrade. But I'm pleased to report that we are, for the first time, I think, certainly in recent memory, caught up on our Citizens Oversight Committee report. So we are required per state law to form a Citizens Oversight Committee of our bond activities. The group has been meeting on a regular basis over the last couple of months, last couple of years, really, to kind of catch up. We didn't have a group formed for a couple of years. We were able to reform maybe 3 years ago and do about 4 or 5 of these reports. So we are now officially caught up for all the audited years, which includes last year, the audit that just closed. The committee's been meeting regularly. I think they're pleased with the progress that we've been making on our projects, and are excited to see 23-24, the completion of the middle school and the start of Bellhaven Elementary and Los Robles Elementary this year. That I'll conclude my presentation.
So much. Now I will entertain a motion for item 11A, which is the consideration to accept the 2021-2022 Measure S Oversight Committee report. The Vice Chair. I would like to make a motion to approve agenda item number. Thank you. Do I have a second? I'll second. Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries 4-0. I will move on to item 11B, which is a consideration to accept 2022-2023 Measure S Oversight Committee report. And I will entertain a motion. Through the chair. Sorry. I'd like to make a motion to approve item 11B. Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, I will move on to item number 12, which is a presentation of proposed district office layout and proposed budget. Dr. Eager, once again, will be speaking to us.
Good evening. I'm pleased to present in a more, I think, polished and formal way. I want to just begin by apologizing. Last time I presented this, I don't think I did a thorough enough job. So I wanted just to highlight the proposed district office in a more robust way. I'd also like just to begin by thinking I was able to meet with 3 out of the 5 trustees really at some length for maybe 30 to 50 minutes to talk through various aspects of this project. And so I'm pleased to kind of share those reports. And the other thing I wanted to highlight that I will not be presenting on tonight, which I separately conferred with some of the trustees about, there was a question from last time. We're not going to talk tonight about, or publicly, about the board's ability to safely egress from the building, unless the board would like to, but my concern is that highlighting the board's safe path of egress, should there be a serious event or worrisome event, making those plans public could create safety issues for the board members. So I'm not going to talk about that tonight, but I am going to talk about the wonderful things in the plan district office, as well as trying to highlight in a more robust way how it interacts with the community hub. This first slide, I think pictures are worth 1,000 words. You can see the state of the field currently and where we are going. On the right here, you can see the full scope of the community hub, as well as the district office, which we're going to spend most of our time on today. But just a couple of things to highlight in the community hub. I know the board's already approved the high-level schematics, but just to highlight a couple of things or re-highlight a couple of things since it has been a minute. One, we have the health clinic here. 2, we have a full-size basketball gym. It's kind of a feature basketball gym with 2 courts going crosswise. Then we have here a big sort of foyer, a very large, I believe it's marked on the map as a banquet room, but sort of a big hall. And then a series of meeting rooms, including here, the district boardroom. Over here, we have an outdoor courtyard, and here we have a small kitchen/eating area. I want to highlight the proximity because I think that was certainly a question for the trustees. We do imagine just the mechanically of what a board meeting might look like in this space. Obviously, there's some details to work out, but the thought actually is not necessarily that the trustees would kind of park here and walk over through the district office, but that they'd park like any visitor to the community hub and walk in this way. I would highlight, though, that the distance from the southern tip door of the district office to the boardroom is about 150 feet. That is about the same distance from where I'm standing to the edge of the parking lot. So just for proximity, they are fairly close buildings, very close buildings, although there are sort of a little bit of a walk outside. I wanted to highlight just for a typical board meeting, we would have the board meeting in here. We would have closed session here, and we would have access to these bathrooms. If we had a larger board meeting, the designated closed session space would not move. It would still be this room, which would be locked. we would go into this sort of larger banquet room space. We would then make the public access points over here. These bathrooms would be open to the public, and these bathrooms would be closed to the public, open only to trustees. Any questions about the interface of the community hub and the district office at this point? Great. Just want to highlight the transportation MOT yard in more depth. It's not necessarily the most complicated space. It is a single way loop, bus parking here, van parking and White Fleet here, as well as a fairly large 5,100 square foot storage building. This would be about 20% bigger than the storage building by maintenance operations, or excuse me, by the technology building today. So a little bit bigger, but sort of that's the right ballpark space to think about. This is the layout for the district office. It is planned to be about 10,000 square feet. I didn't do a very good job of highlighting a couple of key things, and I think the trustees who pointed this out helpfully. One is the space here is flexibly designed. So when we build a school, you can't really move the walls of the classroom. They're load bearing. They kind of are where they are. And the thought is really you're not going to be combining classrooms for the most part. That is not true with the district office. The load bearing walls are here on the perimeter, and everything in the middle you can move should we see fit. We don't see fit at the beginning of this, but thinking that this is a building for the next 30, 40 years, we want to make sure that we have the ability to remodel or renovate should we need to. I would highlight two things. One, this is every office and every space is a little bit smaller than the comparable space here, with the exception of the lounge, which is bigger. There are a decent number of offices that would allow for about a quarter more district office personnel. That's not on a large basis. So it's our district office right now is not very big. So it's sort of like saying we have 10 more workstations. But 10 more workstations for an organization our size is actually a fairly material growth in the size of the district office. Lastly, and I don't think this was overly controversial last time, we're proposing 2 special education classrooms and a multi-purpose office space that's relocated from elsewhere on the campus. This building is a wonderful building that's kind of might be our single most popular portable that we have. I don't know if that's true, but it certainly feels like it. It's broken into a large number of offices with sort of a central corridor here. Really multifunctional use, able to really do a lot of good one-on-one or small group meeting spaces, and feels reasonably nice, and crams a lot of office space into a relatively small overall. I don't want this to be overly alarming, but we have tried to design the cheapest possible district office that meets all of our needs for today and for the future. So our goal is how do we make sure that this is an excellent space when it opens that meets all of our needs and allows us to, at least theoretically, or perhaps really, take back all the Tinsley students, all the charter school students, and see our neighborhood grow and thrive. That's what this is built for. Does it take into consideration every possible contingency of how the district office could evolve over time? It does not. No building does. But I think it reasonably hits the goals that we're trying to do while also dreaming on a budget. Do want to highlight, we've made some big investments. This is sort of the initial budget that we started with. Here's kind of our current forecast of where we are. And overall, we're about $9 to $10 million over where we thought we would be when we started this whole process. I'm not overly alarmed yet about that. There are various sources of state bonds to help offset the cost of district construction. The order of magnitude of that support, should it come in, is about $10 million. I'm also hoping, and I know there's going to be more conversation about this, but the Bellhaven construction that we have planned is over budget in large part because of the additional work that we've planned on the Bellhaven field and the Bellhaven gym, which are really resources that are meant to be shared with the entire Bellhaven community. That's why we've laid it out the way we have. That's why we've designed it the way we have. And we are hoping that the city will contribute as they have done for other districts and as they have done for the past, in the past for Ravenswood, to support some of the cost of that space. So there's a couple different ways to close this budget gap, but I do want to just reiterate, we are very much dreaming on a budget. So we do want to have excellent spaces that meet all of our needs, but just like we don't want to add unused extra classrooms at all of our school sites. Right, we want to build for what the growth of the school could reasonably be in the foreseeable future. We want to do the same logic here with the district office. And with that, I'll finish my presentation.
Thank you. Do I have any questions or comments from the board? Or public? Through the chair, no questions this time. Just some gratitude. Just say thank you to Dr. Eber here, who, I had the pleasure of meeting with for your lovely board report earlier during our subcommittee meeting. And so we went through all of this, and I just really appreciate how responsive and attentive you are to the several needs of all of these folks sitting up here and who might be missing today. I feel like you really listen and you go back and engage in conversations and then try to negotiate with each of us. So I just want to say thank you. Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Thank you for the presentation and also just for the forecast for the budget. And I look forward to continuing to work with that and just make sure that we have been using our funds to make sure that we're helping all of the students at all of the sites and all of the sites to renovate. And so I'm excited to continue to be able to forecast our bond funds for the future and to consider the work at Castaño. We know that's still an important part of this plan. And so I am happy that we can build a new building so that we can build affordable housing here that also helps our community and also helps us continue to pay our staff and meet our budget needs. So thank you for the work that you have done in the forecasting given us and the whole team has given us, and as we've been looking forward to that. So I now entertain a motion for item. I will now entertain a motion for item 12A, the approval of the budget and design. I move to approve item 12A. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. I will also now move on to item number 12B, which is the consideration to approve resolution number SY 2419, determining that the district office project is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act and approving the project. The chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve item 12B. Do I have a second? A second. Really brief.
Resolution number SY 24-19, determining that the district office project is exempt from the California Environment Quality Act and approving the project.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, I will now move on to item number 13A, which is a consideration to approve resolution SY 2424, board member excused absences for President Hunt. And I will move to approve item number 13. Do I have a second? I'll second. Thank you. And then,
Resolution number SY 24-24, board members excused absences.
all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. The next regular board meeting will be held on May 23rd, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. and open session will begin at 7:15. So with this, I will adjourn the May 9th, 2024 regular meeting of the Ravenswood City School District at 8:06 p.m.